What I will do, I will take same like that. I will take 3 router R1, R2, R3, R4, and I will take one switch. I will connect the switch with them. Here I will give here R1. 1 minute, someone is calling. So here what I will say, I will connect the router now. So this one is the R1, then R2, then R3, and this is the R4. Okay, and here this is one is R1 we are calling, this is a switch, and this is the R2 we can say, sorry, this one is R2, this one is R3, this one is R4. Okay, so now we can put whatever IP we want to assign. Here I will assign 192.168.1.1/24 this side. Okay, and then I will go here, I will assign 192.168.1.2/24 here. Then here 192.168.1.3/24. Then this side we will write 192.168.1.4/24. And let's do the configuration. Here area 0 we are using, we need to enable the OSPF. So let me use this configuration, but here we cannot use this one, I think. Or yeah, let me modify this, or I will copy this and we will see and we can modify. Let me open the new tab, and here I will do, here we will say DR BDR election, DR and BDR lab. So this interface we don't have here. Enable config t host name, this interface 192.168.1.1, this is okay, and router OSPF 1 router ID, and this one no need, and this is okay. This one whatever we have here, this is okay here. Then here in R2 we have this one, we here if you see this interface we should have here, and this one no need. So see here, this one F0/0 we have 192.168, here this should be 1.2. okay, and router OSPF 1 router ID this, and this one remains same. This I will delete. Any confusion here? You have any doubts, anything here? R1 R2 configuration. Yes. So this one I can say, this one is this, and this one I will put 3.3.3.3, and this remains same all, because we are using the same interface here, F0/0, F0/0, F0/0. So that remains same here, and I will copy the same thing. I will paste here, and I will write here R4. This is R4. This is 4. This one is 4.4.4.4. So enable config t host name 4 F0/0 router OSPF 1 router ID 4.4.4, and this interface we enable same. So this is also good here. This one where we are here, so 1.4, and this is our interface. So this configuration is good. Just I will copy and paste in the R1 first. So here in the R1 I will go, and then I will paste here. I will write here no, then I will put here. So everything is good here, no issue. You need to observe here, sometime we have error here, so no error, nothing. Then we will go here, I will copy and this paste in the R2. So we will go here in the R2 also, I will paste here, and then I will check here, this one is also done. Then I will copy for R3, I will paste this in the R3. So let me go here, I will go to R3, I will paste this in the R3. So this one nothing we have here. R3 is also good. Then after that we have R4. So we will go here, and we will write here no, and then we will paste here. So this one is good. All the configuration we done here. Now we can check also, but this STP is there, it will take some time, so we need to wait for some time after that. Or if you are in the packet tracer, so if you don't want to wait, you can do this fast forward, but in real you need to wait. So after that, go to any one router and then you write here show IP OSPF neighbor, and see here, see this 1.1.1 we give for router ID for R1. So you can, this is R1 information, this is R3 information, this is R2 information. We are inside the R4, so which router we log in, we cannot see that router interface information. So in R4 we are getting R1 information, this is the R1 information, this is the R3 information, this is the R2 information. If you want to check R4, you need to look in another router. Same router you cannot get the same router information. So here, if you go here, if you write here show IP OSPF neighbor, if you check here, here is the R4 information. So this one is R4. So here, if you see, as per our theory, we told first they will check the router priority. All are having same priority. Then they will check the highest router ID. So this is the highest router ID. If you write here show IP protocol, you can see here, this is the router 3, his router ID is this one. And if you go here in the R4, if you write show IP protocol, this is the router ID of R4. So R4 is having the highest router ID, but who become DR? If you see R1, whose priority is also 1 and router ID is also not high, he become DR. Why? Because when we paste the configuration, that time other guys are not there. So he told I am only the DR. Then after that, who become BDR? Less than this one. This guy become. This guy is not having high priority and also not having the high router ID. We have 3.3.3 higher than 2.2.2. And we have 4.4.4 higher than 3.3.3. So why this guy become BDR? Because when we paste the configuration in the second router, that time we don't have third and fourth router configuration. We did not put the configuration, so they are not OSPF. They are not running OSPF. Only you have these two. That's why this guy become the BDR. And 3 become the DR other. And if you go here and check here, and 4 become the DR other. So what we need to do? We need to go and reset the OSPF if you want to bring back to the correct one, or you can leave like this also. But if you want to correct that one, write clear IP OSPF process. One write yes. Okay. We need to do this in all router, or let's check here. I will write here show IP OSPF neighbor. So still it is not changed, so better I will reset the OSPF, clear IP OSPF process everywhere. So in R1 I reset, in R2 I will reset, in R3 also I will write clear IP OSPF process. In R3 also I will do that one, clear IP OSPF process. So let's see, after that R1 will become DR or BDR, and R3 will become the BDR. Show IP OSPF neighbor. If you see here, the R4 become the DR, this one after reset, this guy become the DR. So this is correct. First they will check the priority, all are having same priority. So what they will do, they will check the router ID. So this one is having highest router ID. So R4 become the DR. R1, R2 did not become anything. But R3, if you want to check R3, you cannot check inside the R3 what is R3. So you can go to R1 or any other router to check that one. So I will write show IP OSPF neighbor and press enter. You can see R3 become the BDR. Okay, what is your question? Yeah, priority is same for all the router by default, but we can change. If all are having same priority, then they will check the router ID, which one is having high, they will take that one. So 4.4.4 is for this router. If you see here, we configure this router ID. This router ID is also known as neighbor ID. So here we configure 4.4.4 in R4. So that guy become the DR. But example, your manager told R1 should become the DR. So what you need to do, you need to go here in the R1 interface F0 by 0, and then you can change the priority. You can write IP OSPF priority. You can give, by default they have 1, you can give 2, or you can give 100 or give 200. Okay, and then write clear IP OSPF process. So I will do here also clear IP OSPF process, and we can wait for some time and we can check. We need to wait for some time and we can check. So here if you see, I increase the priority here. See, I increase the priority here for R1 200 I give here. Now how I increase, I go here in the R1 and here I wrote same thing under this, go under this interface, and here I can write under this one IP OSPF priority 200. Here I done. In R1 I done this one. This is the command I type. Where here? So same thing I can paste. No need to write 2 times this one. Or if you are confused, then I can put this again separately. Like here I will say to increase priority, we need to go under interface and put this command. Which interface? Here we are connected with which interface we will use that one. So we are connected with same this interface, only one interface we have, which is connecting towards all the routers. Then increase, so R1 become, and R4 if you see here, if where we are checking here in R3 I am checking, so R4 become the BDR. So first is a DR, after that BDR. So before R4 is becoming the DR, but when we increase the priority, this guy become the DR, other will become the BDR. Okay, an example, your manager told this 4.4.4 should not become the DR and BDR. Then you need to go here inside this interface F0 by 0. Which router? That router, go under that one. IP OSPF priority 0. If you set 0, then that guy will not become the, he will not participate in the election. He will not become the DR and BDR. After some time when we check, show IP OSPF neighbor. So see here, this guy become the DR and this priority is 0, so he will not become DR BDR. So who will become? First this guy become. Then who is having the highest priority? All are having same priority. Then they will check the highest router ID. This guy is having 2.2.2, but R3 is having 3.3.3. So R3 will become the BDR. See here, R3 become the BDR. Why R4 not become? Because we set the priority 0. That's why he did not become the BDR. So we need to remember, if we set the high priority, whoever is having the high priority, that guy will become the DR. And whoever we set the priority 0, that guy will not become the DR and BDR. So this is the lab.